All right, y'all, what is up? I am here with no locks. Got my hair cut a while ago. It's been growing out for a while. So I just want to catch y'all up to speed. I'm not playing Raid anymore. I want to have this be the first video and me getting back to the channel. I didn't bail on it. You know, I have way too much really heavy, difficult to handle kind of stuff going on in real life. And as much as, you know, people want to have their little, you know, 3 steps to become, you know, monetized for $10,000 a month on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. My reality is that I have limited resources, and my most limited one is time. Some of the stuff is very mental health related, at least in the impact it has on me, and it has to do with family stuff. That's just kind of like, okay, everything else has got to stop. I got to deal with this thing. I got to make sure that I don't overcommit myself. That just it's intense. It's intense. So I did want to say I'm going to be renaming the channel. I'm not changing my, pseudonym or whatever. Vamp is going to be the same. Not going to cover Raid. Want to try to cover Godforge, but I just don't know if I'm going to have time to follow as they're releasing the alpha as I'm, recording this. I don't know how much time I'll have to edit, how punctually I'll get videos out. So we'll see on that. But I really do want to try that game and cover that game. But I'm kind of in the throes of deciding. So the things I want to cover in this video, I'm not going to make it too long, are the haircut, but also why I quit Raid. I don't think I'll ever come back. Part of why I think that is because when I quit, there was no pressure from the outside to quit. My clan didn't abandon me. I didn't get, anyone breathing down my neck about playing or anything like that, for what it's worth. And shout out to all the girlfriends who are gamers or support gaming, but I don't have like a girlfriend or something that doesn't want me to do it. It literally was just me saying, I can't anymore with this fucking game. It literally requires so much time. And I'm running into a situation that I hadn't run into before, where I had progressed enough that I could do and clear a lot of things. For example, Amius, the Lunar Archon in Curse City, every rotation I was beating him on hard, but I was trying to have to find time doing that because I was kind of a scrappy player. I think I may have mentioned this in previous videos, where I didn't spend much money, and I kind of played the way I wanted to play. I think there were more hyper optimized ways I could have played. Like I never used a gear filter, stuff like that. Just a little bit like more hands-on. So I could beat Amius, but I needed to, swap gear around, which usually meant I need to have free gear reset tokens. And at the time I quit, they had only just released that daily reward where you can get a 3 hour or 1 hour. I can't remember. I think it was 3 hours, but whatever. The free gear removal token had just come into the advanced stages where you could get one every single day, which is awesome and a great quality of life change for Raid. But basically what was happening is I had to either spend a ton of silver, which I'd never wanted to do, or, save in my inbox some of the free gear removal from Curse City that you get on the just regular stages, and then move a bunch of gear around. And I would have to attempt sometimes like 20, 30, maybe more times, just because, like I said, I'm like trying to, sometimes it would be a little bit reliant on RNG. I might have to try out different DPSs, might go, that build's not quite good enough because they actually don't need to be in damage. They need to be in survivability, and then just use the debuff they have, and you will chip the boss down slowly, blah, 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 whatever. Right. So, and then obviously you have the complication of some rotations, depending on who you've pulled on your account, are really bad for that boss. But the point's not about Amius. The point is I started to get to content like that, or like Hydra, where I was just for the fun of it, and that's what games are supposed to be. I was pushing for higher Hydra scores, way above 1 key. Often it got to the point at the end where it was way above the 1.2 billion for what you needed for the weekly, personal reward track thing to get all those chests. So anyway, I was really enjoying Hydra. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I have kind of built my teams, and what started to settle in was the fun part about Hydra was the difficult part. It was getting past that friction point, that growth curve. And once you get to the point where you're autoing, and like I could pretty much do an instant battle on Nightmare and expect myself to get probably at least about 300 million. And I was pushing higher than that, but like that's what I would probably get with like my 5 attempts on quick battle or whatever. Then I was like, okay, well, I can manual and get a lot more. I don't really have time to manual. So say all that to say, with my usual rambling, that it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm clearing more content than I've ever cleared before, and it's so fucking grueling that I'm not even looking forward to the rewards. So I got to the point where like I saw them play test, isn't it Polera is the mythical reward for the Faction Wars Hard, and I was like, she seems very cool. She does not seem nearly good enough to go to all that effort. So I know some people are going to look at, there's like lots of good rewards on the way to her. She's not the only reward. You get rewards on the way there. And some people just want the challenge. And then there's some content creators who already do this full time. So it's like, they're going to engage in being the new content because that's going to get them views. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I was like, I don't even want to do Faction Wars hard because I don't care about that mythical. That's just where I'm at. And I am not in a position right now where I actually make money doing this. So I kept getting stuck in this loop in my head of like, well, I've tried to grow the channel around raid. I've had some positive engagement. I've had some growth. If I can get back in the saddle, maybe raid could become enough for it to be, make enough ad revenue once I get over 1,000 subs that it would justify the time. And I was like, no, because the thing is that to play the game, to stay current, that's the amount of time you're looking at, not the recording. You're looking at both. And I was like, there's no shot that I don't even have time to play right now. So as I'm sitting there not making videos, I'm able to kind of digest it in the sense of, okay, let's just look at playing the game. I'm losing fun in the game. I'm not having fun in the game anymore. Not that I never have fun, but you get in this habit, and it's the thing that you like open in the morning to look at your clan boss rewards, and you are like, okay, have I done Hydra this week or whatever? Like if I'm, waiting at a fucking stoplight, I'm trying to like run tag team and, then set my phone down or whatever. And it's just like, I didn't want that unless there was going to be a payoff. The fact that I go, there could be a payoff in the future when I'm already not enjoying the game. Long story short, I was like, no, I'm done. There's too many things that are too punishing. That's the best way to put it. Raid is way too fucking punishing, especially if you're not a huge fan of PvP. I'm not complaining about PvP or the balance or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't sit there and go, oh, I would like to keep playing raid because I would like to, for its own sake, keep climbing in live arena. I couldn't give two shits. I wanted to get Quintus, who I never even got to use because resources are so goddamn scarce in that game. And I was like, dude, I'm not able to do my advanced dailies most days. Then I have to worry about Hydra. I hate, well, I guess I should say hated because I haven't opened that bitch in a few weeks. I hated Chimera. And it's probably, it's obviously partly my personal preference. I think it's a bad boss. I think that people that have, way more stacked rosters than me and a lot better gear, especially tons and tons of really good protection gear and nukers that hit like absolute freight train nuclear missiles, they're going to have a different experience. And you're like, well, no, duh, they're going to have a different experience. No, they're going to have like an exponentially different experience because of, I think, where like the threshold pops into, okay, Chimera is semi-difficult, but relatively easy. And then everything below that, your whole team could wipe. So it was a huge pain in the ass. And as I looked at it, I'm like, I'm literally losing sleep on certain nights playing this stupid game mode that I hate. And if I want to be in a clan and progress the game, which being in a clan that's as high level as we'll put up with whatever your level of progression is best for playing the game. You're going to get way better, quality and quantity, but both is important, of rewards. And if I'm going to even try to get back in the saddle in the future and do raid content, I kind of need all those things. I mean, maybe there's a way to make some sort of weird, evergreen guides and like not even be current on what's going on in the game. I don't think so. And if there is, I'm not probably interested in it. So I was like, if I'm not going to be in a clan, then I'm not going to make content. If I'm not going to make content, I'm not having any fucking fun. So it's kind of like it trickled down from, you need to do your Chimera to be in a clan. You need to be in a clan to make content. And I'm not having fun in any of this. So even if I made content, I'd probably have to find a way to play the game more. And I'm not going to get paid for a really long time. And I think I'm going to hate myself because I'm starting to really not like this game. Like the most fun thing for me for a while was figuring out Hydra because I wanted Chimera to be fun. But the trials are so asinine and so reliant on mythicals that I didn't have. I got 2 mythicals. One was Mikage the whole time of me coming back to the game. So anyway, I'm rambling again. The point being, the first straw or the first pebble that started the avalanche was Chimera, in my opinion, being a very poorly designed, very punishing, very obnoxious boss. And then it trickling out into, okay, now that I feel like I'm disproportionately good at Hydra and Chimera is an incredibly grueling, incredibly frustrating content to me, and those two are very important to being in a clan, I'm like, okay, so if I keep playing raid and I follow the fun, if you will, I'm going to ditch Chimera and I'm probably going to stop having as much fun with Hydra because once you get over the 1.2 billion, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to start spending money and I don't really care about hitting a billion. I mean, I'd like to hit a billion, right? But I don't care about like slogging through all the RNG you get with the different rotations whenever I'm just kind of like easily, it's just farming at that point, right? It's just literally like Nub kept saying, you know, Hydra's old content, maybe they need to spice it up. For me, it wasn't that old because I didn't get that proficient at it before I took my first break. And so once I felt like I was handling the Hydra fairly well, it just got boring. So anyway, I'm out, and I'm very happy I'm out. I think I'm going to do some experimenting. If you're here for me, you'll probably be all right. And it's fine if you're not here for me, if you're mostly here for raid. But for anybody who wants to stick around, I'd love to have you. I'm not going to, you know, relegate myself strictly to this, but I'm probably going to be doing mostly fantasy games. I have some games like Lords of the Fallen was a fairly well-known game that I either bought or had gifted to me that I never got to play, that I like to play that. So there's some games that was another factor in it too, is I was going to like, I would rather make content on these other games. And like, yeah, I got a little bit of traction with raid, but I still have less than 500 subscribers. Thank you to every single one of the 421 that I have at the time of recording this for subscribing to my channel. And you don't got to go anywhere because I think it'll still be good content. Might be some games you either play or would be interested to get introduced to. And I think I'm just going to try to start doing kind of more like maybe fun, lighthearted, interaction-based content. So just like kind of yapping in, you know, what am I trying to say? Like co-op games and stuff like that with somebody else in the Discord, and you'll be able to hear their mic and stuff like that. And I'll still have my face cam. That's what I'm thinking. So I think we're at like, we're about 14 minutes before editing with this video. So I'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad to be back. I don't know, like I said, exactly what the content will look like going forward, but I do think it'll be mostly in the fantasy vein. I do like to play some Valorant though sometimes. I want to try to find a way to do something that will eventually monetize, and I do want it to stick. I don't want it to be some random dude fucking hitting record and doing dumb shit and then posting and expecting to get views, but we'll see. So anyway, done with raid. If you're still playing raid, best of luck to you. But seriously, I mean, it's obviously no surprise to say this as someone who just quit, but this is my second time quitting now, and I'm pretty sure I won't come back now because I just got fed up with it. And when you get to that point, then you don't have like remorse, if that makes sense, when you quit it. And having quit it, I'm like, dude, it's actually wild at a game like that. And I consider myself a non-addictive personality type, but a game like that, if you try to play it at the level I was trying to play it, it just takes so much time. So much time and battery fucking life on your phone if you're not at your PC all day, which I am not because I have to travel around and do transport and stuff for work. So just consider, genuinely, get your life back. Unless you're a content creator making pretty good bank, or this is the only game you've ever liked, seriously consider taking a break, because taking that break, if you've never taken a break, will break the ice where it's like in your brain, you're probably going, I can't quit because daily login and what if I miss a good fusion, all this stuff. If you do, it'll put it in perspective immediately, maybe after a few days or a week where you're like, okay, it is just a game and I can miss a fusion and life goes on. But I really feel like that I can speak from both sides. 2 times now, played raid like all the time, every day. Took a break, came back whenever I got offered a Game Leap partnership. See that video here? That was a whole fiasco of bullshit. When I first quit, it was because I couldn't justify the time. When I quit the second time, I didn't fucking want to. That's what I just went over in this video. So just think about it. Think about taking a break. Think about something that I got almost like a little existential about was we can all do what we want to do. We don't have to justify every single thing by hyper optimizing our lives. Sometimes we can do something for fun. But I sat there and went, as much time as I'm spending in raid, it just got so real to me. Dude, I could be doing so many other things. When I go, oh, I'm not doing this and this and this and this and this in my life, what should be the first thing to go? Raid, get the fuck out. You know, it's like if... I don't know. A part of me just feels like, as a person who has played it day in and day out for a fairly long period of time, 2 times separately, and then quit for 2 different reasons, I feel like even for me, having that experience, when I'm in it, so when I like get back into it, even if I'm not addicted, it sucks you in and you play it for its own sake. You play it to not do things. And when you stop playing it, you go, yeah, there's some things I could do, like go drink wine and sit at some freaking place and just talk about nothing super important with friends or family or something like that. And you're not being hyper productive with your time or hyper optimized, but that's such a better use of time than spending it in raid, because raid's just a cycle. And it's like, we probably all know that to an extent, but it really is just a freaking black hole that sucks your time and money, or one, you know, more than the other, and you just spin your wheels. It's just a fucking hamster wheel. Again, if you're making money off of it, then good for you. I'm not really trying to hate on anybody's life choices. I'm just saying, in my usual fucking long roundabout way, maybe I need to start doing scripts. Consider taking a break. Consider ditching Raid. There's other fun games, and we're going to play some of those on this channel. Until then, guys, and I hope to see you there, happy gaming. Be careful. Be good to yourself, to others. Stay hydrated, all the good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.